Hello! More clearing and shifting to be done, lots more. But it's all essential stuff. We've got to get everything cleared away, tidied up, sorted out, and prepared for upcoming events. So yeah, been doing quite a bit. You'll see. All right, so I've cleared all the weeds from this area up at the top at the back where we did the salting. When we cleared this section and we salted it, it's worked like a charm, because the pathway and this area, which is about 8 meters square, is weed free up until there where I didn't salt. So I've cleared off here, salted it again, got through about 6 packets of salt to the tune of about £3 in money, in sterling, and that's cleared that. It's levelled off more or less now. I'm going to put some weed membrane on top of that, but I've driven these tubes into the floor about 18 inches each down into the soil, and that's like a retainer that then, and I can store all the tubing, timber, stuff like that behind that. It's going to make it a bit more difficult to get to the fence, but such is life. But it needs to be done. I'm going to weed membrane that, double layer of weed membrane on top of the salt, and that should hopefully keep things in order as best as we can. I've got all this here to clear. God, it's a disgrace, isn't it? But again, it's got to be done. This has been like a dumping ground really for all the detritus. As I've cleared all this out from the back and put it here, it's just moving it from one place to another, isn't it? All this has got to go. It's got to go. We've got enough tubing, we don't need any more of those. They've got to be taken down to the tip. So I've been dragging everything, I'll show you. I've been dragging everything down to the front here, as we've been weeding as well. Been plenty of weeding going on, because that's a constant, relentless battle with the weeds. Took a load of the climbing beans off, because one of them had fallen over when I came down yesterday. One of them fell over, so that's come out. I might take that out as well, but perhaps not today, because I've done a load. As you can see, all this stuff has got to be taken to the tip, but not today, because I've got a full car. Sod's law. Oh, I'm going to take those up as well. I didn't know we had any more of them. I'll take those up to the top, I'll show you. Yeah, so that's a stack tower of watering cans. It just keeps them out of the way. I've driven a tube. These are off the trampoline frames that we built the polytunnels with. So I've driven one of the spur tubes, like those, into the ground there, about 18 inches. And yeah, just keeps them neat and tidy and out of the way, doesn't it? In a stack like that. They're probably going to be full of spiders and whatnot by the time spring comes around, but they'll do for the time being. Keeps them out of the way, keeps them handy. Just grab one of them, dunk it in the water. I put these here as well. These were behind there, which were inaccessible. But if you look, I might run these in relay, because it comes off from the greenhouse down the gutter and into there. And if I run these in relay down there, potentially it'll just keep stocking up the water. But yeah, I mean, they'll fill up naturally as it rains anyway. But I've got all this weeding to do here. I've definitely got this bit to do here, and in front of the black shed of death, this area. So if I can do this area, clear this. I haven't got I've just borrowed Joe's wheelbarrow, because I've not got mine. It's at the house where we were doing the fence at the back and taking the brick wall down. But yeah, if I can do this today, get this down to about, well, I'll get it done to here. So I'll get this area done, and I'll get this area weeded and sided. That's the plan. Alright, wish us luck, as Mick says. Okay, so there we are. Salted heavily. Double layer of weed membrane on the top of that, weighted down with these bricks. I am going to have to get some tent pegs, but the 10 for £1, the tent pegs. So yeah, I'm going to have to source some of them and peg it down with those. That's just to weight it down so that the wind doesn't get up under it, but it will get under it at the edges and lift it. So yeah, I just have to keep an eye on that. Get some tent pegs, maybe speculate £2 and get 20 tent pegs, and that should cover that area. It's already covered underneath there, so it's like it crosses over the, so that central bit should be pretty well membraned. Right, let's crack on with the rest of it, guys. So if we did that path, which is at the side of Tiki Tunnel 2, in between Tiki Tunnel 2 and the Edwardian beds, we've got the path, and I've cleared that. We've got these bricks down here. I'm going to shift those over. In fact, I might clear all this out next. All of these are going to be moved and maybe even tipped off. We used to leave stuff up at the top if people needed it and they could take it, but that's been knocked on the head. So I'm probably going to either ask Mick if he wants them or just get rid. Mick has been on. In fact, he might be back on now. I'll go and have a look at Mick in a bit. Magical Mick Derbyshire from Old MacDerby's farm, which is right next door to us, and then next door to us on this side, we've got the Immaculate Joe Lowe, the wise old elf, and that's his little plot. Well, that's how little, it's the same size as mine. But this is all got to be done as well down here and here, and hopefully today. I've cleared out a lot in the greenhouse there, the lady farmer's greenhouse. Hopefully though, this bit, I'm going to try and get down to here and have this all cleared off. And then next episode, probably going to be covering these beds with cardboard. I've got some more weed membrane that we're going to be putting on top of this. Once we've cleared all the weeds out of here and cleared the detritus, we're going to be putting weed membrane down, which will hopefully retard the weeds to a certain degree, because I'm going to put a double layer of it. I've got some old weed membrane there, but it's full of holes and knackered. But that's going to be going down this path. Like you can see there, it was on the path and it's doing the job. So we're going to do the same thing here. Birds bitten the dust there. Something's eaten that, and I suspect it may be fox, because there's not much left of that. That's happened this week. Bit of a gruesome find there, isn't it? But that's nature, boys and girls. So yeah, we're going to be clearing this out and weed membraning over that. Alright. Okay. So we've done the same again here, where we've weeded it, salted it, weed membraned it, and there's a good couple of layers of weed membrane on that, and then we've used the wood chips on top. I wish to God we had a lot more wood chip though, to be honest with you, because we need it. I would wood chip everywhere like Joe's got on this side. If you look there, there isn't a patch of earth that isn't covered in wood chips. Unfortunately, we don't get enough drops of the wood chip, so I'm just going to have to keep my fingers crossed for that. So that's been done, and in front of the lady farmer's shed, we've cleared all the weeds away from around here. This was massively overgrown. This was all 3 feet high. I've shifted about, what, 20 wheelbarrows full of weeds, and we've filled all our compost bins with the weeds. You've got to be careful though when you're doing that, because the bindweed and the horse's tail you don't want mixed in with your normal weed. Your normal weed will rot down your annuals, but your bindweed and your horse's tail will just infest your compost, and you'll get very poor results, because you'll get bindweed and horse's tail spreading everywhere, which I think is what has happened previously on these plots. Anyway, the path's done as well, so we've got the path all nice and clear. I have been covering the beds up. This one was weeded by the lady farmer and myself yesterday, with the assistance of the boys, and then we've covered it up with the black weed membrane, but the black weed membrane does cost money. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting the cardboard and covering the beds with cardboard instead. Just having a look round. like I say, it's still not right. It would probably have took a full week of doing nothing but weeding to get this straight, but that was the sweet corn bed, so that's been weeded. Not salted it, don't put salt in your beds, but we've weeded it, we've covered it with the black, and we've weighted it down with the timber there. Look at this, rampant kale going to seed. Like I say, that's why you've not seen me so much. I've been if I've not been working, I've been doing daddy daycare, looking after the kids, because Helen's having to work quite a lot at the moment. She's working weekends and evenings and everything, so I've not had a chance to come down, and the nights are drawing in as well. They're drawing in and getting darker of a night. But yeah, that's how we're looking. Still got the cabbages, or some of the cabbages. I might take one of those tonight, because they'll be alright for another week or two. Yeah, green beans have gone past the best. They'll need to come out, so there's still plenty to do, and next week I'll be doing that. I'll be taking those courgettes out, and probably the next couple of weekends just clearing the beds and covering them over. But I'll show you what I mean by the cardboard. Okay, so we're over on Magical Mick Derbyshire's side. Old Mac Derby's farm, check him out, where him and Henry are cardboarding. So they're layering cardboard over the top of the beds to retard the weed growth while, you know, while the land's fallow over the winter months. And that's what we're going to be doing. They've not weighted it down in there because they're inside the beds, and it's relatively protected by the brassica nets from the wind and stuff. But I'm weighting them down because when you get a strong wind, it'll lift them all up and scatter them about. Once that rain gets on them, it should adhere the cardboard more to the soil. But they're what we want, so I'm going to have to go and have a search about and see if I can get hold of them. Supermarkets, that's where I'm going to try. I'm going to try my local Asda's first. So yeah, let's see what we can get from the local Asda. I'm probably going to be shopping around and seeing a few different supermarkets or local mini marts or whatever, and picking up cardboard, because the black stuff costs money and the cardboard doesn't. It costs you the fuel to get to the supermarket and pick it up, because they give it you for nothing. It's just byproduct, it's waste for them, innit? But yeah, that's the next step. Have a good time, boys and girls. I'll see you next week, hopefully. I'm going to try and get some more videos up, but like I say, at the moment, it's hectic. Life is hectic. Life's got in the way. But you've got to do these things. You've got to, you know, strike the balance, haven't you? Okay, if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. I've been Guru Mafinda. You've been wonderful, fantastic, fragrant, beautiful as always if you're a lady. Forthright, masculine and virile if you're a man. And if you've been something in between, you've been something in between. This is the Little Farmer's Farm. I'm Guru Mafinda. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we love you all. Bye bye guys. Ta-da.